Cats live for 15 to 20 years, mice for only 3. Jerry the Third is dying and must explain to his son the multi-generational rivalry between the Jerrys and the local house cat and why the tradition must go on. Despite being 2.5 years old, Jerry the Third stood proud and erect, holding his toothpick-fashioned walking cane in the air. The small cavern in this chamber of the intricate mousehole tunnel system was more than enough space for him to draw on the wooden wall while his son Jerry the Third Jr. watched on. On the wall, he'd drawn a crude scribble of a cat with demon horns. It was a very ugly cat. Using his cane, he made sure to point out the evil horns, then the cat's sharp claws, and ending with his big, mean face. Jerry Jr. needed to see the enemy he was up against. Turning away from his son, Jerry the Third used the broken piece of chalk in his other hand to write in big, bold letters, Tom. This was the formidable rival that had plagued the Jerry family for countless generations. An entire 3 generations now, in fact. Jerry the Third made sure to emphasize this by mimicking an angry, scary face with outstretched claws. The effect was slightly diminished because he didn't actually have claws. After that, he used a piece of ripped paper to wipe away the chalk. Then he drew another picture with the same cat, except now the cat was chasing a mouse. Jerry pretended to faint. Then he recovered and hurriedly erased the drawing. With a quick flourish of his hands, this time, he drew the same cat and mouse, but now with the mouse chasing the cat. Jerry somehow stood prouder than he already was and held his cane out in front of him like it was a fine rapier. With a few deft slashing motions, he showed Jerry Jr. exactly how to deal with the big bad cat. His swordsmanship, a skill honed from years of catfighting, was a source of great pride. For the remainder of his lesson, he showed how to avoid mousetraps, call for help from the family dog, and escape from certain death in many wildly different ways. With a final slash of his cane, he set the toothpick on the ground and sighed, shaking his head. Years of grief, pain, and sorrow flashed across his eyes for the briefest moment, and he slumped his shoulders wearily. Even giving this demonstration was taking its toll on the old mouse who had spent his entire life fighting. Suddenly, his ears perked up as they caught a faint sound. Jerry the Third jerked his head up and squinted suspiciously at Jerry Jr. With a few stomps over to where his son was watching, the old mouse made a quick grab with his hands. Alas, it was just as he had feared. Jerry Jr. had taped hand-drawn eyes to his face, and under his mask, he was soundly asleep.